Hello, and welcome to another episode of John's Vlogs. So, where am I today? John is on a farm in North Tipperary, and I am here because I'm a part of the IHFA YMA, so the Irish Holstein Friesian Association Young Members Association. It's a long word. So, we are running a spring workshop here on the 12th of April, and it's about stock judging, reason giving, about judging dairy cows. And basically it's an interview with Owen and his family about YMA and his journey into farming. And that's really it. Look, I hope you enjoy. It might not be to everyone's taste. There's not much machinery. It's very cow talk. But look, I have to say, if you're in around the area, I'd highly recommend you coming along. It's open to anyone. There'll be a link below where you can sign up if you've an interest, if you're around this area. Basically, there'll be other people here telling you what to look out for. So we picked 15 cows out of the herd, 5 heifers, 5 juniors and 5 seniors. And we picked the worst heifer and the best heifer and a few in between. So you can really see what you're really looking for and what you're not looking for. It's a really good way of showing young members what to look for in a cow. Because look, judging a cow, it's not that simple. You just don't go into a field, I like that cow. Okay, why do you like that cow? You have to explain the reasons why. And that's where the reason given comes in. So look, hope you enjoy.
Owen Cleary is my name. I'm from Kildarby, Borrisakane in North Tipperary. We milk roughly 80 cows, cross British Friesian Holstein. We supply Arabon Tipperary Co-op. We graded up in 2000. John Kirby here came to grade up and come since himself and Paul Ball to classify, which you find a great benefit. We do.
So just start from start, you're pedigree breeders.
Pedigree breeders now, yes.
Is there any reason why you decided to go down the pedigree route instead of your traditional dairy cow?
I like pedigree breeding, and we've built up a profile now of generations of cows and studying other people's cows and families. I think families of cows are very important, and we're really learning. We're at a very low level as in learning, but we're learning all the time.
That's important too. And just for anyone at home wondering what cow families are, what is a cow family?
Sure, a cow family is it's on the mother side really, on the dam side, and you just breed generation after generation. And the more information you can get through either classification or milk recording, longevity is a huge thing, I think, if they can last. Trouble-free cows, that builds up a family. And we talk about families around the table here as if they're family members. Certain cows, and it's amazing.
Well, they're more or less family members when you're looking after them every day and you're seeing them morning and evening.
They're supplying us with our milk anyway, and a milk check.
Yes,
and they're very important.
That's the most
and
important.
It has led us on now to what we talked after about if there's a calf, a nice calf, the girls have been showing calves, and that's opened up a whole new life for us.
Just tell me a bit about your farming system here, because it's a fairly when I came in, it's a real tidy, simple system. Tell me a bit about your farming system.
Okay, well, I left school at 16 and great help with my parents. Starting off, actually our prefix is Windsor Kildarby in the beginning, Windsor being my mother's maiden name. So when they passed on, then we just concentrated on Kildarby to keep it simple. We're doing winter milk for the last 10 or 15 years with Arabon, which is now joined with Tipperary Co-op. 80 cows is the most we ever milk at any time of the year. We kind of calves maybe 6 months of the year, do as much AI as we can. That's basically it. We do our best. Yeah, no, it's a real credit to you. It's a real tidy setup here. Yeah. And even machinery on the farm. I see you have 2 older tractors there. 2 old tractors, yeah. They're nearly as old as myself, John. We had great help setting up the farm in the beginning from my wife's parents. They helped us develop the milking parlour and put in a Dairy Master milking machine, which that was our second Dairy Master milking machine in 01. We got the first one, my father bought the first one off Orla's father in 1981, which we're very proud of. And it makes for banter at the table. All right, and look, Owen, thanks very much for your time. Thank you, John.
Well, sure, John, the spring workshop really, I suppose, it's about classifying of the cows. So we're going to have, I think, 3 groups of 4 cows for the kids to have a look at, and it's basically the kids will be looking at the cows and they'll be judging the cows and I suppose just looking at their udder and looking at the legs and just the overall look of the cow and their top line, and they'll be able to decide then kind of which they think is the best cow in the bunch, and they'll grade it. Well, say if there's 4, they'll do A, B, C, D, A being the best one and D being the one that they don't think is their favourite. And it usually works out that people pick different ones for different reasons. Everybody sees different things. I suppose it's just like picking a man.
That's it.
So, and just be great fun because, everybody gets in a bunch and they'll be all talking about the different points that they see in the cows, and they make friends and they all get into their groups and have their chats, and it's a great way for the kids to get to know one another and make new friendships as well.
In your words, like, why is a young members club essential for basically like yourselves?
Well, before we went into the YMA, we were kind of out on our own. We didn't have a club, and it was just kind of us and some family friends doing it, and it wasn't boring, but like it wasn't enjoyable. It was kind of like a chore to be doing it because there was no fun going on. And then we joined IHFA, and it was just way better then, and we made so many friends. And then like you'd be looking forward to going after the season because you'd be meeting up with everyone again after a long time, and you just get to have the crack and have the chats with each other.
And it's I'm a late member to YMA, but it's just even the connections you meet. Like I'd say you have friends from all over Ireland that you met at their various different pieces, and
like all over, like from Donegal and from Galway and Cork and everywhere.
What age group would you be?
I'd be in like the under 11s and that.
So you're one of the younger ones coming in. Like, what did YMA teach you really?
Well, it kind of taught me about like all the clipping and how to clip, and then we got more friends, and then they were able to teach us and help us about it. And then I got like tips off of our friends that are good at it on like how to walk them and how to clip them and good ways to do it.
Because I think like clipping, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Síomha competed in Kilkenny in the YMA this year in the clipping end of it, herself and Colin Grennan. Colin is another IHFA member, and they got on very well at that, and she was hoping to maybe clip again this year. I mean, she was thinking maybe she might try clipping herself on her own this year for something different to do. Yeah, because she's after learning a new skill, and the more you practice it, the better you get at it, and there's always pointers, and that's the one thing about being in the YMA is that there's so many people there with so much knowledge, and you can learn from other people, and the girls have made great friends, and even, walking the cows and washing the cows and the right way to do it, and, we've met up with Stevie and Maria, and they've been a great help to us, showing about washing and clipping, and but we were over in Garteen then at a workshop last year, and they did the field photo competition. So it was from taking the photograph of the cow at the end when the cow has been clipped and washed and everything.
So I think that I've never done the field photo, but from what I know is like you're literally given an unclipped, just a rare calf really.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, from the field.
Literally from the field, yeah.
And you have to get her photo ready.
Yeah, you get her photo ready for the finish, and so they were broken up into groups, and they try and put them with people that they wouldn't have associated with before, so that they get to meet new friends. And then they go and they wash the cow or the calf, and they have great fun in that, because throwing water at one another and everything. A bit of messing goes on, but in good sport. Yeah. And
started. I hadn't a clue what I was doing. I was so lost as to what we had to do, and we even went in black jeans instead of white jeans, and we were tugging around with rope halters. And now I've learned so much, and it's like so nice to look back and see like people that are just joining and seeing like I used to be like that, and then like I've learned so much, and then looking at people who are like higher up than me and have been doing it for longer, and seeing like what I can learn from them, and if I could be like them one day.
Like even I seen you with the cows in the field, like they were all your kind of wee pets.
Yeah.
And they're friendly, like. One was going to follow me home even.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them. I got them when they were little babies and I just trained them the whole time. And when we were at the shows, they used to nearly lie down on the ring and we'd be lying on top of them and on the warm days and everything. And in like the shows like Tullamore, the overnight shows, they're just so relaxed the whole time. We got really lucky with the ones we got.
Like that with the show, and like you're busy here. I can see that, like, and showing it's not the easiest thing to get away from the farm because you're gone for maybe 2 or 3 days at a show.
Yeah.
So like, how do you kind of your labour? How does all that come around? And
well, we've been really lucky. We've had a chap that only lives over the road a bit in Eglish Parish. His name is Stephen Gavin, and Stephen has been with us for 8 years. And unfortunately, Stephen is immigrated to Australia. And he went there just after Christmas, and there was big tears in our house when Stephen left because he was part of the family. Stephen used to come every Saturday to the house and have dinner with us. He was a real extension of the family, you know. And if he was off during the summer holidays, he was here the whole time, and you know, he was a great addition. And there was never any bother with Stephen, like, you know, he put his hand at anything. And Laura Linan then was another girl down the road here. And she comes and she helps with the milking as well. So we've had great help, really.
Because it's essential to have that help because it just gives you that time to
a bit of freedom.
Because with dairy
there's
farming,
a lot of packing up to be done for preparation for the shows as well, you know, and it can be a very early start.
It's not the easiest thing to do. Set sail now down to Cork, Mill Street. Like Mill Street would be what, 4 hours, would it? 3?
I suppose you do it in about 3.5. I suppose. You know, if you're pulling the trailer behind you, it's a little bit slower.
During the show season, you don't really, I wouldn't say, get too much holidays. So
No.
what do you do for that?
Not really, but some people do go on a holiday and they try to get away from all the calves and all the farming. But when we go on a holiday, we all try to bring them with us and try to bring it with us to the shows and all that.